Shalom, shalom, beautiful souls. It is a pleasure to have you join us here. Today's meditation will be for the protection and the healing of all of the refugees of Am Yisrael. We actually have a family of refugees we got to meet last night. They're staying in a house a few doors down from mine. And they're pretty shooken up. They come from a community called Netivot outside of Gaza. And it's a lot. It's a lot. They're like nervous about moving through the city. And every time they hear a siren, their kids just go into panic. And now we have a whole slew of refugees from the north also coming towards the center of the country. God willing, we will all be able to live in our homes in peace. But I also want to focus our energy today in creating within ourselves and spreading throughout all of Am Yisrael the line that has been, for me personally, a motto for the past decade plus, which is Shifti Beveit Hashem le'orech yamin. That more than we want to be in a house of stone or brick or wood, we want to be in Hashem's house. We want to feel like we are surrounded by His light and His love in every minute of every day. So God willing, we're going to give ourselves a little bit more of a taste of that today. Be able to become so full with that experience of home that we're able to spread it out amongst all of the Jewish people. So first, I want to create some heart and brain coherence, make our bodies vehicles for beautiful music. I invite you to close your eyes and put your hands on your chest. And as you hear the sound of the birds, and feel your heart beating under your hands, and feel your breath slowly lifting your chest up and down, pushing your hands. You can notice that all of these faculties, this ability that you have to hear my voice and to hear the music, the ability you have to feel the beating of your heart, your heart's beating, your lungs expanding and contracting. All of these things are gifts that are given to you effortlessly, not because you earned them, not because you deserve them, not because you worked for them, but simply because you are love, you are lovable, you are loved, you are loving. You can even say this to yourself right now. I am love. I am loved. I am lovable. I am loving. And as you say these words and feel these words, keep your mind's eye on your heart. And I want you to think of a time that you felt deeply at home. You felt deeply blanketed with love. It was wrapped around you and it filled you. And as you keep your hands on your heart and you keep your mind's eye in your heart, I invite you to be present with that experience of home. and play that memory out as if it's happening right now, with all of its rich details, colors, and textures. Where are you? Who are you with? What do you hear, taste, smell, feel? And I invite you also to think of a time when you experienced yourself being home for another person or for a group of people. Whether you held them physically, or you fed them, or you held emotional space for them. Live out that moment as if it's happening right now. That Hashem has created an experience of home for you in this world, even in this clunky body that you have. And even with all of the darkness in this world, you know what it feels like to be home. And you also know what it feels like to offer the experience of home. And this memory of you creating the experience of home for another, play out that memory in all of its rich details, with its sounds, its colors, its textures, with its physical sensations. And notice what other emotions come up along with the emotion of love as you're offering home for another person. And lastly, I want us to project into the future. And I want you to imagine yourself in whatever creative way it looks like for you. You are welcome to play architect today. I want you to imagine yourself walking into the home that the Jewish people build for Hashem, God willing, very soon, into the third temple. And feeling how you are a co-creator along with the rest of the people. And creating this space, even if it's already fully built. This space is what it is because of our presence there, because of the holiness we bring to it. It's not just a pile of bricks and stone. And allow your heart to be filled with the experience of love, of ahava, combined with awe, with yirah, that together create a space for holiness, for kedusha. And breathe that in. And allow yourself to bring detail into this home that we've built for Hashem. Hear the music the Levi'im are playing. See the dancing of people rejoicing with the Holy One. Stand in awe at the presence of the beauty around you. And as you feel that experience of being in a home, of creating a home, and of sharing a home, feel all of the light in your heart growing and expanding so that that light surrounds you and envelops you with even more love. As if you have a blanket of love wrapping itself around you and holding you with tenderness. And allow that love to expand even further to include our entire community, those who are watching now and those who will be watching in the future. And feel how that blanket of love is enveloping all of us with warmth, with holding, with tenderness. And I want to invite Holy Tzaddikim to join us in our circle. I want to invite Yitzchak Avinu, who for his entire life made Israel his home. When wells got stopped up, he redug them. When Hashem called him to commit his life, he was willing to do so. He created a sense of continuity and planted the Jewish people in a deep connection with this land. And I want to invite Yehoshua and Caleb to join us in our circle. The only spies who, when they came to the land, saw it with an Ayin Tovah, saw the good in this land, and brought us back into this land to make this place our home. And I also want to invite Esther Malka, Esther the Queen, who was taken hostage away from her home, but who courageously made choices that eventually enabled us to come back to the land of Israel. And you are welcome with your microphones off to invite any tzaddikim, any righteous Jews who you want to welcome to the circle, to hold our hands, to bind themselves with us here. But I especially want to invite David HaMelech, David, our king, who first purchased the land and set everything up so that his son Shlomo, who is also joining us, could build the first temple in Jerusalem. And I want to read words of David HaMelech. Now you're welcome to read them with me. They will appear on your screen before you. These are words that, this is a Tehillim we haven't read together yet. It's chapter 59. Here we go. Oh, I love this. I can zoom in. This is new for me. This is chapter 59, Memtet. The chapter that David HaMelech wrote when he was running away from Shaul. For many years, David HaMelech was in essence homeless because he kept having to go from place to place because Shaul kept trying to kill him. He knew what it was to be homeless, and thus he invested greatly in building a home for the Jewish people to share with Hashem. למנצח אל תשחט לדוד מכתם, וישלוח שאול, וישמרו את הבית להמיתו. הצילני מאויבי, אלוהי, ממית קוממי, תסגבני. הצילני מפועלי אבן ומאנשי דמים, הושיעני. כי הנה ערבו לנפשי, יגורו עלי עזים, לא פישי ולא חטאתי, אדוני. בלי עוון ירצון, ויקוננו אורה לקראתי וראה. ואתה, אדוני אלוהים צבאות, אלוהי ישראל, הקיצה לפקוד כל הגויים, אל תחון כל בוגדי אבן סלע, ישובו לערב יהמו חכלה ויסובבו עיר. הנה יביעון בפיהם חרבות בשפתותיהם כי מי שומע. ואתה אדוני תשחק למו תלעג לכל גויים. וזו אליך אשמורה כי אלוהים משגבי. אלוהי חסדי יקדמני אלוהים יראני בשוררי. אל תהרגם פן ישכחו עמי הנעמו בחילך בהורידמו מגיננו אדוני. חטאת פימו דבר שפתימו וילכדו בגונעם ומעלה ומככה שיספרו. כלה בחמה כלה ואנמו וידעו כי אלוהים מושל ביעקב לאבסי הארץ סלע. ישובו לערב יהמו חכלה ויסובבו עיר. המה יניעון לאכול אם לא יסבעו וילינו. ואני אשיר עוזך וארנן לבוקר חסדך, כי הייתה משגב לי ומנוס ביום צר לי. עוזי אליך אזמרה, כי אלוהים משגבי, אלוהי חסדי. I invite you to close your eyes again. Bring your hands back to your heart. Feel that feeling of home, the home that is around you at all times, because Hashem offers it to you. The home that emanates from your heart because you offer it to others. And the home that we share together as a community and together with Hashem as a people in His home that we've created here on earth. And with that, I invite us to imagine all of the refugees, all of those who've been displaced from their homes, in the center of our circle. We're going to bring them light today. So I want us to imagine that we're enveloping them with light, blanketing them with light, comforting them with light. And we're going to bring light down from Shemayim, from the highest places, so that we can gift it to them as well, and gift it to the entire Jewish people. So we got to climb up to the heavens. I want you to imagine that in our midst there's a circular ladder. It is Sulam Yaakov that we're all able to climb at the same time. And the refugees won't have to climb this ladder. They'll get to float, carried by the light of our love, carried by our sense of home. And I want you to look up. You'll see 10 rungs of the ladder, and at the top of the ladder, there's Hashem's glorious cloud, His cloud of glory, His Anan HaKavod, filled with the light and the radiance of love, of healing, of comfort, of rachamim, of mercy and loving kindness. And there we will climb that place where everything is one and everything is revealed goodness and everything is known and clear and there is no confusion. So I invite you to grab onto the first rung of the ladder and the second. And you can already feel your body growing even heavier than it already is now. Even as your soul reaches higher and feels lighter, as it gets closer to the light. And as the first rays of light start to tickle your fingertips and the top of your head, and you grab onto the third rung of the ladder and the fourth, and you can see how beautifully the refugees in our midst are just floating higher and higher. And you can see all of their muscles relaxing, even as your muscles relax even more, as they bask in the light of the divine. It's light so beautiful, so radiant, and yet it doesn't hurt their eyes. they can just soak it all in. And you grab onto the 5th rung of the ladder and the 6th, and Hashem's divine light is washing over your arms and your shoulders and the entirety of your head, wrapping you more deeply within that feeling of home, that feeling of love. And you grab onto the 7th rung of the ladder and the 8th, and there you see the refugees. Send them even more love. See how your love is carrying them higher and higher, so they're floating up and rising up with us. And you grab onto the 9th rung of the ladder and the 10th. Now you can just hop on up into this higher realm where we gather again in our circle made of us, those who are meditating together now, those who will join us in the future, and all of the holy tzaddikim we've invited to join us together. And in this place, where all there is light, as an emissary of the divine, I want to welcome you home. And I want to invite even more holy beings to surround us, to surround the refugees with the experience of protection, with the knowing that Hashem is with them. I want to invite Michael on our right, with his deep sense of chesed, of loving kindness, and Gabriel on our left, with his ability to create boundaries and a container for the loving kindness, and Uriel before us, lighting our way, and Raphael behind us, healing our past. And above our heads we see the divine Shekhinah of Hashem. And in that glorious place above our heads we see Hashem's name in its beautiful radiant letters, Yud, Hey, and Vav, Hey. And now that we've experienced being surrounded by His light, we need to remember that God doesn't just surround all worlds. He's not just Misaviv Kol Almin, He's also Mimal'e Kol Almin. He also fills all worlds. That includes every cell, every atom in your being. Even when sometimes you feel Hashem has abandoned you, it's just an illusion. Hashem can't abandon you. He is you. Every fiber of your being is made up of divinity, of love, of connection. But sometimes it helps us to take actions that help us to remember. So I invite you to bring in Hashem's divine Yud into your head and see it radiating its light, filling your head with its light of healing and love and comfort, so much so that the light radiates off of your face, so that you are mamash ma'or panim, and all of that light radiates into the center of the circle, so that you can shine your light onto all of the refugees. And you might as well smile as you do so, and you're welcome to say words of love and comfort to them as you do so. And I invite the Hey of Hashem's divine name to come in through your head and make its way so that the top of the Hey meets you between the shoulders, and the arms of the Hey fill your arms with radiant divine light. You can feel that light radiating so much. It just emanates out of your hands and out of your palms towards the center of the circle. And the Vav of Hashem's name slips in through your head right into your spine, that's made perfectly in the shape of a Vav. The Vav, the letter of connection that connects the upper worlds and the lower worlds, The upper worlds are where our souls are at home, and the lower world is where our body is at home. And we want that experience of total and complete love and light and safety to be experienced by our bodies, even here in the lower world. This is what we're doing with our meditation. We're bridging these two worlds so that our bodies experience total and complete love and safety. So feel how the light of that Vav emanates out of your spine and fills your entire torso. And so much of it overflows that it radiates out of your heart into the center of the circle, filling the circle with your light, with your love, with your compassion, with healing. And the last hey of Hashem's divine name comes in through your head and torso. And the top of the hey meets you between the hips. And the legs of the hey fill your legs with glorious divine light, filling your legs with healing and with love. And here you are, a full manifestation of what it is to be made B'Tselem Elokim, in Hashem's image. And now you are a proper vessel, a proper merkava for divine light. So I invite you to lift up your hands and have them face out towards the center of the circle, not just in your imagination, your actual hands. And I want you to feel how more of that light is raining down upon you from Hashem's glorious cloud. And it's washing over you. But it's not wet rain that makes you cold. It's warm light that envelops you in its warmth and in its love. And it seeps in through your skin and into your heart. More light than your body can possibly contain. And so your heart just bursts, literally see it bursting with light. And see that light emanating out of your heart and through your arms and out of the palms of your hands toward the center of the circle. And we're going to take a few moments for silent prayer. Send wishes to the refugees of what you hope for them. Send them blessings in your own words. See those blessings coming out as light out of your heart. And see the words coming out of your mouth as letters of light, surrounding them and comforting them and blanketing them and touching them. One last thing I want to ask you to do. I want you to imagine that a pure ray of divine love and light comes in through the top of your head. And before it has a chance to go to your heart, I want you to see it coming out of your mouth. And I want you to blow that light and that love the way you would blow a balloon, the way you would blow out candles, and blow that love onto this entire collection of refugees. With sweetness, with tenderness, as if you're blowing them millions of kisses. Now, because you're here for the entire Jewish people, but you're also here for you. Because you also need comfort, and you also need love, and you also need tenderness. So in the sweetest, softest, gentlest way possible, I invite you to bring your hands slowly, slowly ever so gently back to your heart and hold yourself. Allow your hands to emit the sensation of home, the home that you offer for others. Offer it to yourself right now. This is how you can, in all of your days, feel like you're living in God's house. By making yourself a place of light where you can rest in lots of love and others can rest in lots of love. So love yourself. Be kind to yourself. And throughout the day, offer yourself moments of tenderness like this by simply closing your eyes, even for just a few seconds, placing your hands on your heart, and remembering this moment when you loved yourself and your fellow Jews, not just in your mind, not just with fear and worry, but with pure light and pure love. Now we're going to make our way back down to the bottom of the ladder. From 10 to 9 to 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And when you're ready, you can wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes and open your eyes. And if you would like to do so, I invite you to turn on your camera so that we can bask in the glow of what we've created here. Thank you for your presence today. I apologize to Noah. I only just saw your message about the music being too loud. I hope everyone was still able to hear me. I bless you all with a day of shalom, shalva, of beauty. Blessings to you all from Jerusalem.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.